Wake up, folks. Another legendary golfer just told Greg Norman to pack it up and leave. This time it's Tiger Woods. The PGA versus LIV not-so-cold war has taken another road where on every turn people want peace, but they don't want Norman. Maybe he is the monster. Some people will get that reference. So today let's weigh in on what Woods said and how much truth there is in it. It's golf gossip time. First up, he thinks Greg Norman is the problem. Another day, another press conference, another take on the LIV versus PGA situation. Rinse and repeat. Tiger Woods, also known as the only billionaire golfer in the whole world, gave his 2 cents on the civil war that has shaken the golf landscape like never before. And he's the latest in the series of players who think that the shark-infested LIV isn't something the PGA Tour can have peace with. He's very clearly said that Norman needs to leave his position as the CEO of LIV Golf. Otherwise, sitting down and talking with a Saudi-backed league ain't an option. Woods believes that to calm things down and to find a way to peace has to start with leadership. But the LIV leadership, he believes, is not ready for the conversation yet, because it's Norman that actually doesn't want to coexist in the professional golf world, side by side with the PGA Tour and the DP Tour. See, the road to peace now seems to be blocked by the legal battle that's going on. Like, obviously, you can't go on a candlelight dinner for a nice little date while your lawyers are choke slamming each other at the judges' table in the court on who gets to have custody of your child. Tiger says for a peaceful future in golf, the legal battle must end. But for that, he says the LIV leadership should step forward first because they drew first blood. The tour only files a countersuit. And of course, anybody with half a functioning brain knows there's no way in hell Norman is taking back his league's action. Following up, who really drew first blood? Okay, Tiger has a point. He's right that the LIV Golf went to the court first. And now, not to be disrespectful to the literal king of golf, but dare we ask, why was it that they went to the court in the first place? The whole antitrust suit was filed because of the bans and sanctions that were imposed on the LIV defectors. Hell, even the sponsors said ciao and never looked back at some of the players they'd been working with for many years. Now, of course, this makes sense in the context of the source of the money that fuels LIV being shady as hell. But let us remind you yet again that the tour has close ties with China, a place not exactly known for its brilliant track record on human rights. But the biggest plot hole in the PGA Tour and the DP Tour's narrative is that the ladies' golf has been heavily sponsored by Saudi sources for years now. Hell, the Ladies European Tour has a whole Aramco series, for crying out loud. And it also happens to be the most popular one, by the way. In case you need reminding, Aramco is the Saudi Crown Prince's very own small business that he runs from home and makes a humble $1 billion from. The point is that if LIV took things to court first, it was because the tour gave them plenty of reason to. Filing an antitrust lawsuit against something takes a lot of antitrusting from the other side. We're not gonna lie. Up next, Woods says Norman wants to destroy the PGA Tour. Okay, so the reason Woods says Norman isn't the man to talk to is that he believes the Aussie CEO set out with one mission in mind: to destroy the PGA Tour. And we'll give it to the 15-time major winner. He knows Greg well. If you don't know your Norman lore well enough, you probably don't know how many grievances he's had with the PGA Tour since the dawn of time. Also, and there's no nice way of saying this, he's always had a reputation for being quite cocky. So yeah, not the easiest man to talk to, and definitely not someone you'd want to have a grudge against you. As for Tiger saying that LIV aims to destroy the tour, well, sure, there's definitely some flavor of the beef that's been cooking up for 3 decades. But on the surface, it's literally just a golf circuit challenging the dominance of another golf circuit. Here's what we think. If the PGA side really wants to find a middle ground, they need to compromise with the current brash CEO of the Rebel League. Because, let us tell you this, from the looks of it, he ain't going anywhere anytime soon. If peace really is that important, then we're afraid it'll have to be in the same competitive environment. We know Norman isn't stopping. He says there will be more defectors in the 2023 season. The tour keeps updating its policies and purses too. So it's about time we hear less of the destroying and more of the competition, because otherwise we're back at square one. Wait, we just realized we're literally still at square one. Coming up, Tiger's views on LIV haven't changed. This guy guy sticks to his guns. Just because he thinks that there should be some kind of coexistence with the Rebel League before next year's Masters in April doesn't mean he thinks the defectors are any good. Nothing absolves that sin. He believes that those who've jumped ship have disrespected and disregarded the tour by deserting it like this. But what he seems to be concerned about even more is the fact that the way he sees it, these players have jeopardized their careers just for big paychecks and guaranteed money. He talked about this again at the same press conference and said that if the LIV invested $2 billion this year, they might very well go ahead and invest $4 or even $5 billion next season. Why is that? Get ready to hear the best description of LIV Golf you've heard all year. Well, because Woods says it's an endless pit of money. His point was that even with all those billions, they can't replace the legacy that the PGA Tour has. The defectors, according to him, have lost the privilege to compare themselves with the greats like Ben Hogan, Sam Snead, and Jack Nicklaus. So yeah, we regret to announce that the hearts have not yet warmed up. There you have it. If we get to see some kind of a PGA and LIV merger in our numbered days on God's good earth, we need to prepare for a lot of crossed eyes, pouty faces, and who knows, maybe a brand new golf beef, because these boys have got problems and we don't think they can solve them. Moving on, it's Rory McIlroy's doing. Rory McIlroy is that one quiet kid in class who had a heated argument with the bully once and never looked back. So if Greg Norman has anyone to blame for this sudden demand of his blessed resignation letter, it's the Northern Irish star. A few days ago, he was the first one to suggest that Norman and Peace can't live under one roof together. So one of them, preferably the Aussie CEO, must leave immediately. Why? Because they need an adult in the room to talk to. Since then, we first heard the Australian legend Ian Baker Finch agree with the world's #1 golfer. Ian said that there was no doubt about the Shark's talent and legacy in Australian golf, but it's high time he steps down from his position as the CEO and makes room for negotiations. And now, the one and only Tiger Woods has also mirrored McIlroy's statement. Stay tuned for who's next in line. Bets are open. Now let's talk about what else Woods and McIlroy have going on. First off, two golfers have signed for TGL. TGL, the highly anticipated golf league announced by McIlroy and Woods earlier this year, finally has landed its first two signings, and they're both big names. World number 5, Jon Rahm, and world number 8, Justin Thomas, are on board, so expect to see them play the first ever tech-infused golf league starting in January 2024. TGL will use virtual golf in custom-built arenas so that the fans can watch every bit of action just like any other sport. Here's how it'll work. Both Thomas and Rahm are understandably excited to join the TGL, a league that will start the season with 6 teams playing 15 matches every week, primetime on Monday nights. Then there'll be playoffs and of course the final. The best thing? The matches will be quick and easy to follow. Lastly, what will the TGL receive? The founders, Rory and Tiger, are positive that this new project will innovate the game of golf like nothing else before. Most importantly, the TGL, due to its technology-infused nature and quick matches, will attract a whole lot of new fans toward golf. It sounds kinda awesome, doesn't it? Well, when these two combine, you better not expect anything less than absolutely amazing. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think it's possible to have peace in the golf world with Norman on the throne of LIV? And what do you think Norman needs to change about his strategy to make things better? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.